Hello, this is Dale speaking on comms 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's Colin on comms 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good morning and welcome along to live coverage of the 2026 Bowls Scotland National Championships, sponsored by Gallagher. Crowned across men's, women's, youth. Good morning and welcome along to live coverage of the 2026 Bowls Scotland National Championships, sponsored by Gallagher from the National Centre for Bowling here in Ayr. And this is the largest week-long bowls event in the world, with over 1,300 players from 340 clubs in Scotland competing, with more than 8,000 spectators expected through the gates this week. And by the end of the week, 25 national champions will have been crowned across men's, women's, youth and para disciplines, all being contested here. So what does that look like? We've got 19 live matches available for you to watch over the next 8 days here on Bowls Scotland YouTube channel and the Facebook page, with 4 finals exclusively live if you switch over to the BBC iPlayer or BBC Sports website. The 4 finals will be live on BBC iPlayer and BBC Sports website. Will be the mixed pairs final on Monday at 4 p.m, the para opens pairs final on Tuesday at 3:30, and both gents and ladies singles finals next Saturday afternoon. So we have an action-packed week ahead here at the National Centre for Bowling in Ayr. And this is how it's going to look this morning, all getting underway here on each rink as we speak. We're going to start with a mixed pairs in round 1. We've got Shettleston with Margaret McMillan and Ian McMillan taking on Croftfoot's Teresa Gallagher and Stuart Brown. Currently getting a feel of things out there on rink 1, getting the speed of the green, just going through their trial end, and they'll be getting underway shortly here live and exclusively on Facebook and YouTube. This afternoon it's going to be the youth pairs. Sighthill and Thornton Inverkeithing will be playing on another rink. We've actually got a different game now lined up for the second fixture here in the youth pairs. It is going to be West End Stranraer versus Westerton. So a good tie lined up there with some youth international talent amongst the ranks. And then the youth singles is going to be Archie Scott from Newhills versus either the winner of Megan Orchard or Dylan Jackson. Paul Muir's Megan Orchard and Dylan Jackson from Churnside. So we've got a long day ahead of entertaining bowls action here. All these players have made it through rounds in their districts. They've fought hard to get here to what is the crowning piece for our amateur bowlers in Scotland. And alongside me this afternoon is Colin Noon, who's been certainly looking out and looking forward to this week. And you've got the long shift because you're here for every 8 days, and you're here for the long haul.
Yeah, well, good morning, Dale. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be back here at the National Centre for Bowling here in Ayr, with a week-long programme for everyone. So yes, you're right. I'm here every day. So looking forward to some great games. We've got a cracking first round mixed pairs tie coming up between Shettleston and Croftfoot, and this game will be getting underway just shortly.
Shettleston from District 22 and Croftfoot from District 21, a Glasgow derby between these two clubs. It's a 16-minute drive along the M74, according to my Google Maps, but it'll certainly be an interesting tie between these two sides. Obviously, Shettleston came through their district. They defeated Steps, Christon in District, Springburn and Baillieston on the way to making the Nationals, where Croftfoot had a slightly different makeup with some A's and B sides in there, but beat Giffnock A, and then Rutherglen B, and Giffnock B got beat by Croftfoot as well, and then Rutherglen A were put to the sword in the district finals to make it here. And before we get underway, obviously they're going through their trial ends, just getting the speed of the green. Let's give it an idea of what that rink is playing like at the moment. Obviously throughout the week they'll alternate the way that they're playing, but it's obviously very weather dependent. What are you expecting from this rink this morning?
Well, we know this rink well. We stream it most years. It's a very playable rink. I would say outdoor bowls can be a bit up and down depending on where you land. But this is very playable. If you look at the way the players are playing in this direction towards, let's call it towards the ice cream van, as you see in the back right hand corner, then the right hand side, the ditch side, probably a bigger swinging hand, and on the left hand side, the inside hand, probably the hand that most players should pick on this rink. Probably 2 feet, 2.5 feet green, and it really just drops at the end on you. So that side's all about really good weight. And if the players have watched the stream or if they know the rink at all, that is probably and is usually the favoured side on the rink. But that's what trial ends are about. If you're playing with different types of bowls, then perhaps it suits you better. So we'll see what the players choose as they settle into this game as we just conclude the trial ends.
So the winner of this tie will go on to play the winner of Thurso and Willow Bank, and we'll do our best to keep you up to speed with results around the rinks as and when. It's a huge effort though, and kind of leading into that, it's a massive volunteers effort for the 8 days. It's a huge community that bring us together. 8,000 spectators expected in Ayr over the week. So it is a massive volunteers effort, and it's the culmination of a good summer's work, and it's a good celebration for everybody as well.
It is for sure, and it also brings substantial benefit to the local economy. Everybody has to find accommodation, somewhere to eat, a bar in the evening. So it's good for the local economy. But the setup here is quite impressive, really. The complex is great. Five greens. They will play in as the week goes on. They will become better and faster, I'm sure. And obviously, there's a great infrastructure that sits around us.
So just about to get underway. The first bowl is going to be played, and it is going to be Croftfoot to play first, and Croftfoot's Teresa Gallagher will be the lead in this tie, supported by her skip Stuart Brown. And likewise for Shettleston, Margaret McMillan will lead the side, and Ian McMillan, her husband, will be the skip, and that's an excellent first bowl, and give this opening exchanges a little chance to see how this will unfold.
And already you see both players electing to play different sides of the rink. That's not wrong, of course. And this is a good adjustment, just lacking a bit of pace.
There's a bowl in there somewhere, just creeping round the back. And Stuart Brown and Ian McMillan from their respective clubs just keeping an eye on the head of the action at the moment. That's an excellent approach there.
Change of side, probably onto the easier side of the rink. We have to remember, as these players will not be used to playing with the cameras, so we'll need to deploy some patience early on as the umpires try and remind the players just to try and step out of the way if they possibly can, without disturbing the flow of the game.
Final ball for this end from Teresa Gallagher. It's been a steady start from both players as well.
Yeah, we've got a few good balls in there. I think the players will just take a little time to settle down and find line and length.
Spattering of balls in the opening end here as the leads switch with their skips now, and Stuart Brown and Ian McMillan will make their way to the mat. And Margaret McMillan and Teresa Gallagher will take their place at the head of the action. A wide opening ball from Stuart Brown.
Ian looks to have set this off on a great line. Is he running?
Just taking a little nick. It was a good line. A confident first bowl from Ian McMillan. Upton for the backhand.
That'll sweep away down that side. It goes very, very quickly.
It's another good one. He seems to have certainly found the line. It's just in behind his wife Margaret there, just or in front of as she stands. Teresa offering some support for Stuart Brown. Now, can he find the line with this penultimate bowl of his?
This is down to 8. It's difficult to see.
Yeah, he's given the jack a little knock, which is potentially taking it closer to the Shettleston bowl. That was a good view of the line that Ian McMillan was taking to try and approach the displaced jack. And it comes down to the final bowls in the opening end. It's been an attacking start from both sides, and we'll see from here who can get the...
It's just going away again, so looks like a couple already for Shettleston.
Very hard to judge where the scoring bowls are. But how does this one look? It's very straight. It's going to knock this
It's his own bowl.
own bowl a little bit closer, and that potentially could be 2 going on 3 if that's definitely conceding 1, 2, 3, and it's an excellent start for Shettleston. In the opening end. Consistency from both players in the opening end there. Margaret and Ian. Margaret put them in a really good position, and Ian really capitalised on that. Perhaps just a little bit of a nervy start, more so from Stuart than Teresa, perhaps.
I think the players are still finding line and length. I think you can play the trial ends, and you know you will find line and length to the draw. But the minute you get a displaced jack, you know, a little bit of pressure comes on. It's all about finding the line and length for the remainder of the game here.
Margaret might need to find some more chewing gum, because I think that's going to be a well-chewed piece as the 17 ends start to work their way through. And Shettleston now have control of the jack and will be able to determine the length of the play.
Players are just having a fight with the scoreboard at the top end there.
Just not long enough for us to nip out for an ice cream just yet. And it's a long jack as well that Margaret has launched down the rink. So we'll see how Croftfoot reply. And that was a good response there from Teresa Gallagher. That's another good line. It's about pace.
Just It's the run. Yeah, it's good.
Very good.
Good memory. Certainly giving this a chance.
That knock.
Ball on the head makes a big difference. It now means that she can afford to be up and build ahead. You don't have to get the shot with every ball. You've got to build something that gives you an opportunity.
Hurry!
Good reply after popping one in the ditch. It's been a good response from Margaret McMillan from Shettleston.
Certainly is, and Ian will be happy with the way that's built. I think he will be up and attacking this with his first effort. Any contact on the red gives him an opportunity. Slipping by also gives him something to play with his next delivery.
It'll be interesting to see how this plays. A little glance back there from Stuart Brown, because it's a really narrow head. The opening head was really open and wide. This is a really narrow head that they're playing into. So after an indifferent start, it'll be interesting to see how Stuart Brown does approach this. But will be Ian McMillan with the first ball from the skips.
A bit disappointed with that, because there was nothing for being short there. I think Stuart will maybe he'd like to change the shape of this just a little. If he can get round the front balls and maybe get a touch on the jack, it takes some of the play away. It's a great try. Again, probably just not quick enough.
Two very similar approaches there from Ian McMillan. Does give Croftfoot a little glance through a door which might have just been left ajar.
Still a great try, this. Very good. Very good.
A little look for the umpire as well.
Hurry! Hurry, John McGill! What an effort!
I'm not sure what the involvement was about there.
It all looked very pleasant, whatever it was. But this could be another one which is perhaps going to ghost away, but it's... Okay, still kept the head very narrow. So two left in the hand for Stuart Brown, one for Ian McMillan. Just a little bit wide. It's a lovely angle that it's left in here. A really good opportunity to attack this for.
It's a tough head to play now. I think if he can take one out, he's done well. Just going to fail. He's taken one out, I think, has he? Maybe.
Difficult to see from the angle of the cameras, but it's a valiant effort from that man, Ian McMillan, to try and disrupt the stranglehold that Croftfoot certainly had in this end.
I think all he's got here is a dead draw down his backhand. He's given it a chance.
It's been a much better end from Stuart
If it was any more than one, it's not now.
Brown, but yeah, he's just flipped that red ball over.
It'll be one to Croftfoot.
it's a good response. It was obviously a brilliant opening from Shelston, but it was built there by Teresa Gallagher. She did a great job of building a really good platform for Stuart Brown to try and control after. We'll get confirmation of the shots there that Croftfoot were able to steal back.
Yeah, it was a great try.
And a slightly shorter jack this time, and I think Teresa Gallagher is able to play all sorts at the moment because she's playing with a lot of confidence. Margaret McMillan just skipping by.
Yeah, interesting that she chose to change her hand there. She played the other side very well, coming this way on the first end. And she's been forced down the ditch side. I think this is a better choice. I think whilst that ball in the front may look in the way, I think you just adjust your line and you either come outside or inside.
Really only got the gap. This is about a ball and a half behind Jules. You really look to come between it.
Good leading.
Very good leading from Teresa Gallagher. What is the opening game here at both Scotland National Finals? Certainly posing a lot of questions for Margaret McMillan in the third end of 17.
Slightly wider, but I think it will drop just at the depth if she's got good weight. Yeah, very good.
So Margaret being encouraged to come down that ditch side. Didn't look happy when it left the hand, and perhaps that's why.
Yeah, it does have quite a big sweep on it, and because it's a bigger sweeping side, then the pace will be different. So it's very difficult to flip back and forward between the hands. Not impossible, of course, but you need to remember there is a difference in pace.
So that's how it looks after the leads have played. Action across all the rinks on Green A here. A lot of action over all the greens at the National Centre for Bowling here in Ayr as the National Championships get underway with the mixed pairs and the youths as well. Opening proceedings and what is going to be an entertaining week of action. And for these mixed pairs, they'll be hoping it's a successful and fruitful one and they can make their way through the rounds. And Ian McMillan has given his side a brilliant chance with just sneaking in that cluster of blue balls that were resting beside the jack.
He has indeed. He's just got himself out of a heap of trouble there.
Time, give me 2 feet and you'll be good.
You'll be hoping for much of the same. Another one just coming up short.
Yeah, he needed another one in, although maybe taking off a bit of play on that other side by putting that in there. There was maybe an ambitious shot to kind of try and get the red one out, but whilst he's already holding, 1-2, camera angles are a bit tricky.
I think there's a plan for that ball to come out.
A long stare at this one.
Great effort. Well, he won't have wanted to see that stop there, because there is a chance now down that backhand side for Ian to play the same weight as his last one. If he gets a corner of the red one, he'll come across and he can move that jack round the back for 2 or 3.
It's perhaps just going to sweep away.
He's not with the pace, that's the problem. I think he probably needed to be attacking that a bit more. One conceded.
It certainly looked they were a lot closer in the camera angle, but obviously they have a much better view than you and I. So another one to Croft foot. And then what was that? I'd probably ask for a better start, really, Shettleston. They've had to deal with a Croft foot side that have gained a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, but if you watch that replay there, if he had managed to play that ball with his last one, he would have taken a corner of the jack and he'd have pulled it round the corner for a few. So, chance missed, perhaps.
A long way to go in this mixed pairs first round tie. A slender lead, but this will change throughout the duration of this tie. And again, I think every time Gallagher's played, it's almost been 7-8 inches away from the jack with the opening ball. So
yeah, it's quite a forgiving side of the rink, as we said early on. It's the right side to play. A couple of lines up there. So yeah, it's nice to see the players have settled well.
very similar end to end 2 at the moment. It was an end that's seen Croftfoot get one back after an opening start of 3. Teresa's watching this head down the rink. And Margaret McMillan wastes a little time to respond, and it's coming in with pace.
She needs to get hold of the jack.
It was definitely the play, because you could see Ian McMillan just have a slight glance to the sky.
Yeah, she was quite positive. There's nothing for being short there. She's got her own to promote. Again, you can see the change of side, change of weight. Give this a chance again. Get it this time, just under.
Just that little channel between that red and blue ball, affording an opportunity for Margaret McMillan, but a couple of glances from her efforts.
Yeah, she gave it a good chance, didn't she? I think you'll see
both times.
Yeah, you'll see Stuart come up the ditch side here, maybe try and just either get behind or even promote one of the shot balls over to protect the jack a touch. But it's a heavier side, so I need to remember to give it a push.
Ian McMillan, similar to Wink Margaret, opts for the backhand. Trying to get down that channel. And it does have a little nick. And a round of applause from Margaret.
Yeah, to be fair, he wasn't outrageously off his line there, and he played it with nice weight, but he's left Stuart a chance. Played this hand very well the last time. Yeah, it's a great reply. I think Ian will want to be positive at this. He's got 3 red balls sitting round the back. If he can sit the blue one away, he makes 2, double chance.
The remainder of this end might just be blow for blow.
I think Stuart needs to change the shape of this a touch. I think even if he trails the jack himself and holds on to it, he moves it into a really difficult spot. I don't think he can afford to leave Ian the chance to trail that. Well, that's protected it. And he's given himself a chance to promote his own to get the winner, so a decent effort.
A bit wider from Ian here, and a couple of knocks, and
Wow.
rests right next to the jack.
Well, that couldn't have worked out any better for him, really, could it? And he's left Stuart with probably just a draw, really. Maybe half a chance of lifting the shot ball up once. Might rock the jack to his own.
Making his way.
It's an attacking way. Needs to drop. He's played it, I think. Oh, what an effort.
A very good play there from Stuart Brown. So the final bowl of end 4.
Isn't a brave one, is it? Or is it?
We shall see. It's wide.
Yeah. Deliberately so, I would think.
So let's see. Only conceding one.
Yes.
So Shettleston get one back and now control the jack. And that was a really interesting end in terms of what we've seen so far. It was probably the most intriguing because it was really, really intricate, the way that they were trying to play, the opportunities that they presented as well. It unfolded in a way that there was never really, apart from the end, the one that was just thrown away for an ice cream. It was every ball really mattered in that end.
Yeah, it changed hands. There was opportunities for both sets of players there, so it's good to see.
So 4 to Shettleston and 2 to Croftfoot. She's been a really steady lead in the opening ends here. Into the 5th end, Teresa Gallagher has certainly been incredibly steady.
Good spot. Only that through.
Margaret McMillan for Shettleston certainly plays at a pace. Just covering in behind.
It's better.
Good ball from Margaret McMillan there. It's interesting to see in the opening rounds as well. In District 21, obviously, there was A's and B groups within that, as there will be in different districts anyway. But Shettleston only really had a closer tie against Baillieston to make it to the national finals. Every other one was relatively one-sided, so it'll be interesting to see how they compete if this is a really, really tight game, because Teresa Gallagher, the lead, has been steadfast in the opening ends, and Stuart Brown has certainly grown into this as well. But as Shettleston, as the skips take their place towards the mat, that currently in the lead.
It's a fairly even game, isn't it? You know, it's 4 ends in, 2 ends each. Just that score, that count of 3 early on.
Yeah, it was a big opening score, which perhaps gives a little bit of a false economy sometimes, but a couple of them in the game can take the wind out the sails, but we've got a long way to go yet.
You can just see the players struggling on this ditch side. It's not quite as steady as the other side, but again, it's outdoor bowls. You need to find a way.
This end as well tends to be a little bit more scattergun than perhaps the other end as well that we've seen so far.
I think possibly because both the leads have been forced onto the ditch side quite early. You know, the first bowl that went up was it's not actually blocking that forehand at all, but I can understand why you might choose to switch.
We can see in the adjacent rink as well, the one that's just beside. At the moment, Thurso Willowbank, actually they're paired beside each other. It does look like that's the game that's beside, and it is Thurso that's currently in the lead there, 6-2. We can see from the scoreboards. So it'll be an interesting dynamic, both sides. The top half of the draw, both playing side by side as well.
Yeah, that'll happen early in the rounds, and you'll find all these disciplines. They generally play side by side most of the way through.
It's a good effort.
Not really clear on the position in the heads here, Dale. It's difficult to see with the camera angles, but two blue, maybe.
Certainly giving a nudge to that blue one, making it a little bit closer.
Stuart's got last ball here. If he holds shot, then perhaps the play is down the inside hand. Yeah, as you can see, he's indicating there that he's on 2 coming in. If he's round it, he's got a chance. Just doesn't want to get dragged onto the inside, on the ditch side, and turn the red one. So if he holds, the safe play is down the forehand.
Yeah, every shot matters at the national champs. And Stuart Brown is getting his steps up because he's down to have a look back towards the mat. And is this
That's
going to
okay.
play out the way that he thought it was?
Yeah, it's a quicker side. So you can see, having played the ditch side 2 or 3 times, he's overplayed that by quite some margin. The right shot though.
Not able to adjust in time.
So we're going to see the umpire for the first time.
So the box marker out and measure between this red one and this blue one will be and also that blue one.
Yeah, that's not like the red one's beating that blue one. Not so sure about this one though. Yeah, red. Camera angles.
Yes, it's very deceiving, but not from the angle of our umpire there.
Yeah.
And for all of that, it did look like Croftfoot were certainly held the upper hand there, but Shettleston do steal another one. And in a game so evenly, a tie so evenly matched, these little ones will start to add up. So the first time they've been able to retain the jack. The McMillan family has also been on the phone to quickly dispel any conversation that Margaret McMillan and Ian McMillan are actually husband and wife. They are from the same family, although yes, not married. These player profiles can be very deceptive, and as soon as I've dispelled that myth, Margaret McMillan pulls that one out of the bag.
Must have heard your apology then.
I think she did. I didn't want the McMillan family en masse at my front door.
Just overplayed that, and the idea was right.
Teresa Gallagher leading for Croftfoot. Certainly got a difficult end to try and nudge away that impressive second bowl from Margaret McMillan.
That's too much now.
On this ditch side as well, as they start to curve and bend round, the pace tends to come out probably where Margaret and Teresa are walking roundabout just now. It looks like it's really pacey, then starts to die towards that part, because that looked like it was going to run on a little.
Yeah, it's a heavier side. It doesn't mean it's not playable, of course. It's just the adjustment that players need to make between one side and the other. But Stuart's got a chance on either side if he, for a conversion. He needs to maybe be a bit more careful.
How will we see this one unfold? Is this more about leaving one high? Is he looking to protect here a little bit more, try and cut off shots?
Yeah, that's just an error.
He's
just tried to draw a shot. Excuse me.
Right.
I think if you're Stuart here, you've got a chance down the inside hand, his backhand, to set the ball away, or you've got what he's elected to play, which is really just arrive on the shot ball and touch the jack to the back. But I think that's the harder shot. It's easy saying that from here because you know the rink, but the inside hand would hold all the way underneath the front red ball, the black ball with the red sticker.
Pacey effort from Ian does find the ditch.
Closer. Good try. Ian really needs to cover that back corner, I think. Very difficult for him to add another one, so cover the corner where you're likely to lose most shots. Not bad. I like to be a bit wider, I think.
Right, on the ball.
Yeah, so change of hand. I think this is the shot to play.
Ball to your toe. Take your time. Thank you very much.
This won't move terribly. It needs to be inside it though.
Get away now.
Final one for Ian.
He's just taken away a lot of play there. It's now back, I think, to the other side. Hopefully he can make a contact on the shot ball and move the jack to the back of the rink. Just in the bottom side.
Certainly one.
Shelton extend the lead.
And those ones do tot up, and it was interesting when you're saying there, Colin, about covering and the kind of switch of play from Ian, because if you've got one pretty much in the bag, you were looking for something quite spectacular from Stuart Brown. You're better consolidating that, because it means that there's another end away, it's another point on the board, and there's less opportunities for Croftfoot to try and sneak back into it.
Yeah, it was also very difficult for him to add another without doing any damage. It wouldn't have taken much just to make a contact on it and lose the shot. So make your opponent play the shot, cover the back, make sure you can't lose any more than one or two, and you move on. This is an interesting tactic here, bringing the mat up. 6-1 in front, 6-2 in front, apologies. And all of a sudden changing the length.
Opening effort there from Margaret McMillan. wrong side from Teresa.
There for you now.
Very good call there, Dale.
Well done.
Well done.
Close for the shot. It's between those two.
A chance just to build this up, throw that in, sit beside it.
Jimmy, you hit a bit there, it goes out. Your bait's perfect. Just a blade for me. Touch your mind.
That one just to the right has been chalked by Stuart Brown. And it was interesting before as well, as we see this one approach. Excellent. That in the first bowl was essentially a bad bowl, and it's almost been the most important one as the ends developed.
Yeah, not what she was playing there, obviously, but she has changed the shape of this, which means it's now much more difficult for Shettles to get in. So we'll see how this plays out now. See, I thought it was a slightly strange tactic to alter the length when you're chipping away and you're scoring ones. Maybe not dominating, but you're scoring. Just going to a really good hole. That's a good end.
No, I don't think you are. I don't think you are, John McGill. You've played one here.
Swap.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky this for Ian. Ian's got to go down the ditch side, I think. Stuart's plays probably down the inside hand.
Try one anyway.
Just drifting inside the blue one to the top left of the head, just to add another. He won't want to leave anything sitting on the high side and the ditch side that gives Ian any hope of changing the shape of this.
Aye, just fighting it there that time.
Good try.
Change the dynamic slightly.
Help me, but
Any thoughts of perhaps what approach Stuart was going to make has just changed.
Yeah, pushes him down that side now.
Good for it to sit. It's going to be a hard end to play and determine the distance with the play being that long at the moment. Although the mat is a bit shorter, but the ditch is a bit closer.
Yeah, I think he'll just be trying to search out, get second shot here, which he may have done.
I'm not assuming again. Bowls or anything else.
Change your side.
He's got spikes on. So two still to play for Stuart Brown. The Croft foot skip. It's been a waste of one of his bowls.
Yeah, you can see he's picked good weight. Just the line by, and it's only a fraction. I know that looks like quite a distance, but it will only be a fraction down that side.
It's just because I'm having to jump between two chairs.
It's not an easy head to change this for Ian. The backhand, the risk is he turns the blue one in for two. Actually, the similar risk is on the forehand. I don't even think he can see clean through to take the shot ball out.
It's going down the forehand. It looks like it's a good line.
Maybe he can. That's a great ball. Super stuff.
A round of applause from the spectators, and rightfully so. Just a little gap was presented, and
That's all we needed.
he has played this wonderful shot.
Yeah. It's difficult to tell on the camera angles whether he could get down that gap for either the ball or the jack, but clearly you can see he's played it absolutely perfectly.
Not a lot of swing in it at all. It
No.
was pretty straight,
No, played it really well.
and he looks delighted with the shot as well on that camera angle there.
Maybe bringing the mat up was a good idea.
That's all wide before.
The corner. How many this is? 2 perhaps.
To talk us through when the jack is in the ditch, there obviously it's knocked off on the red, and it's went in. So what are they looking at here?
So if the jack goes in the ditch, you know, and sorry, I'll rephrase that. The jack goes in the ditch is still in play. We know our bowlers will know that if the ball touches the jack on its original course, then it will be chalked, and therefore if it goes in the ditch, then it remains live. But in this instance, you know, drawing to the edge on these greens is it's very possible. There's some greens you find there's a bit of run in from about, I don't know, a foot, 2 feet out perhaps, whereas here they're quite level. So it is possible to draw right to the edge. But what you'll see now, I'm pretty sure, is the umpires will have a bit of a string measure here between those two balls. So there'll be one conceded. But you can see how the string goes up and over the edge, so that's a bit of a factor. So it's like I don't think there was another one conceded prior. Just the one that was in the ditch.
Hurry, John McGill! Hurry, John McGill!
Another 2 on the board for Shettleston. Again in a head that initially started to form that looked like it had a bit of croft foot control, but a wonderful shot from Ian McMillan. And a strike of luck as well from where the jack does rest, but it's certainly culminated in 2 further scores.
Yeah, I mean, there was, in fact, he was maybe a fraction unlucky, because if the jack had gone slightly to the right hand side, I'm sure that would have been a count of 3. But he executed the shot perfectly. It's exactly what he was trying to play, and he'll be delighted to see that scoreboard keep ticking over in his favour.
And the gulf between the two sides, like not in application or approach, in pure scores, the gulf is the fact that in end 1 and end 7, Shettleston have been able to go away with more than 1 score. So the other ones have all been single scores.
Yeah, there's nothing in this game. You can see that probably Crawford are getting the better of the lead exchanges just now. Ian's magicked up a couple of balls. So you can see the jack going in the ditch there. So very unlucky that the jack actually managed to rebound further to the left. Otherwise, that would have been a count of 3. Great.
There's a sizable Shettleston support here as well, because every McMillan ball that is played well is met with a sizable round of applause.
Yeah.
It's a good reply there from Teresa Gallagher as well.
Oh my God.
She drops again. She's good again.
You can just hear in the seating that surrounds the green, you can hear it being encouraged down the rink. So you get an early indicator how positive it's been received by our fellow club members and also some neutral spectators that are here in Ayr this morning.
But that's what these championships are all about. You know, it's about having clubs down here. It's about as a player having some support on the banking, because you know, it's definitely worth an extra shot or two throughout the course of the game when you've got that encouragement behind you. It's good.
Just a little bit wide there from Denise Gallagher with our last one.
Stuart's turn to try and find a conversion here. You won't want this game to get any further away from them at this stage.
Almost approaching the pretty much the halfway point in earnest. Halfway through the 8th end.
Are you running, Ian? You know, we may not be totally unhappy with where that's finished, because it might just catch Stuart's eye, because he has to play down that side.
Quickly dispatched, and it opens up the head again. It does provide an opportunity initially before that ball for Ian to really attack in towards that head. It does provide protection, and also it does give Stuart Brown something to think about, but he's potentially now got that opportunity if he can get the line right here.
He's bang on. You know, if he a fraction of green, he would have built that up lovely for himself to give himself an opportunity. As it stands, it's tough. He could try that again, or he could elect to go big here.
I think I'm 6 of the 9.
Running the 2 balls off is maybe not a bad play.
It's coming in with pace.
It's going to go by.
Somewhere in the middle. Would probably work pretty well.
There, so, for the split.
There'll be further opportunities for Stuart Brown in this end.
I think it's up to you, you can play any. If you're wanting
What
to
questions
play
does he
ball,
have to
ball
answer?
there.
This is going to drop in for a shot.
Right, what? Whatever hand you prefer, you play it. Come on, John McGill! Whatever!
Steps down the ring, it's wide. It's not how he perhaps wanted that one to play out. Let's keep an eye on this. 1, 2, 3 turned. 3. Another big tally for the Shelston's parent, Margaret and Ian McMillan. Finding their straps now in this one. 11-2. For those of you just joining us, it certainly does look one-sided on the scorecard at 11-2. But it has been a tight battle between these two clubs, these two mixed parents, in the first of our 3 live games in the opening day of the National Championships, sponsored by Gallagher. here at the National Centre for Bowling in air, just off the coast. Rise to Scotland. Full week of championship action. 25 champions crowned by the close of play next Saturday. And Shettleston will feel that they've got their foot into the next round, but that is not the case. It's still not lost for Croftfoot. It's been a couple of ends which perhaps have just given Shettleston a little bit of gloss here between these two sides.
That's right. We're not quite at halfway. This is just approaching the halfway point now. And balls, you know how quickly these things can turn. It doesn't feel like there's 9 shots in the game.
That sounded like a bowling analogy there as well.
Yeah, probably been there many times.
In my head, I was thinking about the bowls that Teresa Gallagher has played so far and how she's always there or thereabouts, and it just started to turn and perhaps get slightly lost there as Margaret puts one long. But at the moment, quite a...
She's maybe just lost that consistency since she moved to this ditch side. So this time, should be happy with that.
Should be very happy. And to be honest, they both look incredibly happy as they stride down rink 1 on green 8. An hour of play has gone. And Croftfoot have rested closest after the leads take place at the head.
This is a chance for Stuart.
Just jogging on by the right line from Stuart.
He won't be unhappy with that. If he can play that with his next just with a fraction of green, he's got a chance to turn in the jack round the corner. So, same chance.
It's an excellent approach there.
Well, he'd missed the line completely. Just got an inside edge. Let's give this a chance. I think he's good. Oh, very lucky.
You just run in the yard this time.
Still in a good strong. Hardly maybe.
Contrasting skips in these two sides. Ian McMillan played in one here before.
Tell you, he's got the right weight.
Blue ball just resting closer towards that jack. Stuart Brown, first appearance. National Championships.
Maybe cautious with this. Holding 2, chance to change the length. It's what you call a safe draw.
It was closer to the toes of the spectators in the stands than it was to the jack, so he's happy with his tally from his team, and they get 2 on the board. And for the first time since end 3, they get to decide the length of play here.
Hurry before you go. Hurry before you go. You're second. Alright, got it.
Teresa coming up a couple of feet short with her opening bowl. Margaret McMillan going ditch side, going a couple of feet beyond.
Hold your weight. Another one there, Flo.
Just needs to run. Very good.
Very good indeed.
Two, maybe three, just a nice draw. That's level.
Hanging on to the edge there.
Certainly seen in this tie that they're not dead yet if they're there.
She missed the line there, but it's probably come through, has it? Chance with this. Makes a big difference. Just had a little kick at a ball there, placed it in the right spot.
Always the danger of being on the stream game. All eyes on rank 1.
Trying to can't quite see the jack position. There you are. There's an angle.
And this is the shot that
Yeah.
led it towards.
Yeah.
Forget about that bit.
I think he's maybe done himself a
Oh.
I think he's done himself a disservice there. I think he's put it further away than perhaps it was.
Incredible footwork though,
That was
the way
great.
he controlled
Yeah,
that.
couple of keep you up.
He's been watching the World Cup. So Croftfoot's messy. Gets his first ball propelled down the rink. It's a great angle to see this approach from Ian McMillan. Trundle in.
Can't quite see, Dale, where did the chalker go that put the jack?
We might be able to get a little glance back at that. Is
it's
that
not
chalker there just in front of the...
Yeah, but it was a blue ball, but it's not marked on the banking anywhere. Can't see it.
The blue ball that hit
Hit
the jack, yeah.
Because it's not that one, because that's the one that
Is it the one that Stuart Brown kicked closer? Allegedly, I'm...
Can settle that.
Probably does. And we were just explaining before at the start of the tail end of ND, how the scoreline perhaps somewhat flattered Shettleston. And if you can get a couple and build up some scores, then it could be in for an interesting end to this tie.
Again, camera angles, but they could be holding 3. Or if, I don't know, as I say, I don't know what happened to the choker that to hit the jack. Unless it's been lifted out inadvertently.
We'll have to keep a keen eye on how things pan out when we get to the end of this
That one.
end here. Glance into the distance for Ian McMillan to see what he can do.
Three, so that wasn't the ditch. It was underneath the rink marker.
So 3 conceded from Shettleston. And all of a sudden,
Game on.
game on indeed. Back-to-back 3s for Croffoot. And at the end of end 8, 11-2 down, and we were at that point explaining about how the game is not dead and buried, and Croffoot have reacted and brought it to within 3. And the jack is set for the start of end 11.
Hurry every bit of this. Right, okay. Now that's on your own.
Very good deal, well done.
That's okay.
Right, you're up the yard.
Okay.
Go wasted.
I mean, that's still there, that's that out. So if you want to change, just need a touch.
Last ball for the Leeds.
Very good.
Rosie Gallagher quick away from the mat.
Inside.
That's not your fault.
Relatively straight effort for our final ball. There's a very open head at the moment.
Eh? It's tricky. No, it's tricky.
Chance for the Skips to make the mark.
Very good.
Aye. Might play that. Aye.
Okay, another one.
players just a little bit more scrappy, perhaps, coming this direction.
It certainly does seem that way. Can Stuart Brown be the catalyst to try and tighten things up and continue that momentum for Croftfoot?
Just needs to hold on. I think he has.
It's a good placement with the first one.
Fight with the scoreboard again.
Consonant, please, Carol.
You're in the area, John McGill. What a move!
Stuart now intervening. Can take his shot.
Line.
Still at that pace.
If he holds on, it's close to the jack.
Yeah, keep coming. Right down. Not bad, good start. Couple yards.
Played. Good winner. Doesn't change Stuart's play. Pretty much the same as his last, just under that bowl, touch the jack round the corner for 3. Stop on the bowl, also gets the shot.
Played bowls for a couple of decades. First picked up playing at Pro-Am event at Hoyt Bowling Club. Finds himself at the Glasgow-based Croftfoot Club, and he's looking to try and rest inside that red bowl from Ian McMillan, and does just that.
Similar shot for Ian.
Perhaps turned just a little bit too late. It looked like it was never going to turn, and then started to go.
He's got quite a big swinging bowl, I think. Just needs to keep off that red one in the front. He's good. Yeah, well played.
Another good effort.
There's just enough room for Ian. Through that gap in the front. Up to draw the shot, even if he grabs the jack on the way past 2 down that right hand side.
I've seen it
Pushed
before.
it though. Has he got the legs? I'll be a bit disappointed with that. It was a chance.
Conceding the 2. The call for the umpire. And from this angle, you think you know until we start to see the box marker out.
Well, both players applauded when Ian drew that in there, both leads, so maybe it's not quite made it.
Croftfoot were 11-2 down at the end of end 8. They've been able to notch up 3 scores back to back, and ends 9 and 10. So they're guaranteed 2. And it shall remain at 2. Double jacking. A little nod to signal that the red bowl was the the third closest out of the cluster of bowls that were at the head there. So it will be 2. Croftfoot still trail by 1, but it's been some response.
Yeah, it's been an expensive 3 ends for Shettleston. 3-3-2. It's just when they were starting to look comfortable. But as I said at the time, that's bowls, and things can turn really quickly. Probably a fair reflection of the game, to be honest. 11-2 felt a bit generous, to say the least, but then the scoreboard doesn't lie. This feels like a proper game now. We've got 5-6 ends left to play.
A rare mistake from Teresa Gallagher there, the first one. If you can pop it down as a mistake, a strong effort into the ditch. And when she's led, she's been very, very consistent. So we'll be hoping for a little less oomph behind this one. Another goes west. It's been intriguing to watch the ends when Shettleston have control of the jack and then when Croftfoot do, because this is a bit of a longer end. And you can see in the opening exchanges, this has usually been a little bit tighter, the head's usually been a little bit tighter as the leads depart. But it's really open, so we're really struggling to find their distance here.
Yeah, I think Croftfoot's success at the front end has mostly come on the inside hand here. And it's been completely opposite for Shettleston. Now, having said that, just moved the jack a yard or so with weight and grabbed it, but I do think Croftfoot's success has come on the inside hand and maybe just been dragged onto the ditch side because Shettleston have started to play, so well. You see again, change of hand, change of pace, and that side is a little bit faster. So we've got a bit of an open head this time. Just similar to the last end, really, where you would expect the skips to take control.
And also, as you've been reading the pace of play and how the teams have been approaching this tie, with the ditch side and the open side, the jack has now been moved along, so it's almost like another little change in the area that they're playing in. So it's going to be interesting to see how they approach this. And Stuart Brown has just nestled one, knocking off the red ball from Margaret McMillan, and settles to the left of his lead, Teresa Gallagher's.
Chance for Stuart to put another one in. Just carrying that momentum at the minute where you just feel they're getting the better of all the exchanges. Just things like that little flick in rather than a flick out, it just seems to be holding on.
I would probably come and meet here. I would go to West Ham and just come to meet here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, come on. Just broke out.
pulls him out a bit of trouble. He won't want to leave it to his last one.
You can see Margaret there when it was making its way down. She was willing it back inside, but it just wasn't turning.
A chance for Stuart to add another.
Potentially take the lead for the first time in this tie.
Looking at the body language, not quite sure. He's clear, he's good. Yeah, well played. This feels pivotal, Dale.
Ian McMillan from Shettleston to try and snatch it back.
Body language says no. Shots.
4. The biggest tally so far comes in 12, and with the momentum that Croftfoot are currently building, it takes them into the lead for the first time.
Yeah, for the first time. Yeah.
And it's a handsome lead as well at this stage of the proceedings in terms of the way the scoring has been going.
Certainly has. It's been heavy scoring, 3-3-2-4, and that was in reply to Shettleston's 1-1-2-3. You know, that took them to 11-2. So, you know, I don't expect this game to be over yet, but I think if they can continue this scoring run for another couple of ends, then they'll have Shettleston chasing.
Teresa Gallagher found her range again. Big end for Margaret McMillan as well.
You can see the impact of the tactics from both teams, really, though, can't you? You know, when Shettleston brought the mat up and played towards a minimum length on their scoring run against this full-length jack approach that Croftfoot are taking now, and it's paying real dividends for them.
And these little elements are certainly aiding the Croftfoot control in this tie. And whether it has been a short jack or a long jack, Teresa Gallagher more often than not has been able to find her distance, and
She's just tidied that up, hasn't she? You know, that's already a difficult head to play to, but no reason why Margaret can't put something in that starts to build it back up and give Ian a chance. Stuart would want to see this just past the jack here if he can, but yeah, very good.
opportunity to come up and have a little look. Just chasing this down and having a little glance at where that was going to end. What are the skips thinking as they head back up? This seems like it is quite a pivotal end in this tie.
Yeah, I think the last end was pivotal in terms of getting that 4 and getting your nose in front in the game, and they'll want to keep the foot down now. They won't want to they won't want to lose cheap shots, and the head's tidy for the minute. At the minute, it'll be interesting to see what Stuart elects to play here.
2 sitting at the moment.
They want to widen this. Just to be clear. Yeah, he'll be quite happy with that.
Quick grimace from Ian McMillan, not happy, but it was almost a good bad one.
Stuart wouldn't be unhappy just repeating that first delivery with his next 3 and say to Ian, over to you. Sort it out. Yeah, good balls. Anything on the inside's good. Yeah, if he leaves something on the wide side, then he gives Ian a chance. As it sits, Ian either has to change the shape or put something near that gives him an opportunity to change the head. Fancy that ball, try a different one.
Let's see if it's the right choice.
He is wider.
It certainly doesn't look like it's got the pace. What does that do for Ian McMillan?
Probably tightens it up a bit for Ian actually, because that ball might just be in his line. Like that. Stuart will want to repeat either of his first 2 deliveries.
A bit high.
He's wide. Certainly is.
So another miracle shot required from Ian McMillan to try and stay in the fight.
Doesn't want to be up the back of the blue one. If that's made a difference or not.
Three. Four. Collect all the balls again, and it's another big tally from Croftfoot, who are going on a bit of a run at the moment.
Yeah, I do feel Shettleston really had to stop the rot there. Well, now 7 in front, 4 to play.
I think we were speaking before, and obviously in N12, when they got the first 4, it was the first time they were in the lead. You feel that when they were having 2 sitting, you felt that even 2 was a big score, and it was almost, it wouldn't be catastrophic for Shettleston, but you almost felt that they had to try and get something. The fact that 2 turned into 4, you almost feel that they could certainly be the 2 ends that are the biggest ends in this tie between these 2 sides. It might be the difference between Croftfoot continuing their journey in this national championships and Shettleston's coming to an end in the opening round.
Shettleston they're just more comfortable on the shorter length, and they've not really grasped the full length jack at all. Getting a chance. Good opportunity to put one in here. Wide open. Change side. She adjusted the pace for that quicker side. Good for now.
Crawford will be hoping to do what Shettleston done in the opening exchanges in this game and just control.
Just needs to run. It's a great ball.
The next few ends, but that's a great approach there from Margaret McMillan.
See that just straightening up at the end there. Very good, your memory, Margaret. Pretty good, I would say.
Little cries of well done, Margaret, from the spectators that surround Rink 1 and Green 8. Appreciating that effort. Something for that man there, Ian McMillan, to build upon. To try and get Shettleston back into it against Croftfoot. Near neighbours Croftfoot. Just along the M74.
Stuart's objective here will be to actually draw this absolutely dead. And kill any chance of a count of multiple shots. But he's drifting by, so this is a great chance for Ian now to put some pressure back on Stuart.
It's a good line.
It's very good. I think that's Stuart's play now as well. You know, he's got to also think that he's 7 in front and he's got to manage the game out. So don't go chasing the shot. If you lose one, you lose one. Just win a little bit quick.
Swaps one out. So can Ian McMillan build on this tally, or at least protect it?
Just to drop this one up.
You can see them, there's two red and blue ball that are sitting beside each other, but it certainly looks like there's 3 if not 4 in there.
Needs to be absolutely dead weight on that line. Don't just drift by. Is the tide turning again?
It's certainly going to make for an interesting finish in this opening tie.
That line again, he's picked it 3 times. Very good. Just needs to nestle in.
He's got another. Couple of 4s in the last couple of rounds. It certainly looks like he's sitting with 5. And it's intriguing the way that bowls can twist and turn in terms of accumulation of scores and shots that they can have sitting in there. But this is a big bowl.
That sure is. Stuart's objective here is just to sit on that back black ball, which is probably second shot right now. Give himself a chance to lock his ball in so that he can't take it out. And if he loses one, you know, he's just 6 up 3 to play. But as it stands, there's a bit of pressure on this one.
Feels like this is the biggest shot for Stuart Brown so far in this tie.
Needs to be dead weight on that line. Another drop.
Doesn't look like he's made it stick, so is there a lot of risk in this shot? Trying to put another one in there?
Nope, none at all. He's played it 3 times. His ball's drifting in from a wider line there. He can afford just to sit the wide one. He's holding 5. You know, he'd be very unlucky to do any damage here.
Draw the very first for me.
Ian McMillan with his last ball. He's
Wider.
He's played a sterling end here.
No, he's fine. It's absolutely fine if he lifts that.
Did come in hot, came in with a bit of pace, and there's certainly 2, 3, 4, 5.
Game on again.
There's a Gallagher turning out 5 bowls. 16-18 now.
Are we going to see the mat go this time? Are we back for a walk? We are.
And this is the intriguing part as well, because as you've well noticed, Shettleston like to play a shorter jack, and when they do, such as in end 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, they tend to play it pretty well. The tide did turn in end 9, and there's been a flurry of shots from Croftfoot, but it is now back in the hands of Shettleston. They still trail.
Just centering the mat before they deliver the jack.
So if Shettleston are to score in each of the remaining ends, they'll be the team to progress. But if it turns, who knows what will happen in this one. 16-18. Shettleston on their journey to the finals of... I've never failed to score above 20.
Nice start.
Teresa Gallagher will have to adjust the length of the bowls that she's been playing over the last wee while.
I think the important thing for Croftfoot here is just to regroup. You know, I think in their head at 18-11 they'd be thinking about, you know, thinking about their next game maybe, but they need to regroup now and remember they're still in front. Certainly at 11-2 down, if you'd asked them if they would have taken this score, they would have, absolutely would have.
Bitten your hand off. But it's been from both of the mixed pairs. It's been an amazing reaction to some of the incredible shots that we've seen in the opening tie and the live coverage here at Bowl Scotland's National Championship, sponsored by Gallagher. Just over 100 minutes of play, and this one is far from settled.
It's at this stage of the game that you realise bowls is played 6 inches between your ears. Nothing for short here really. Any contact on the bowls, if she can pick up the jack on the way through, should make a big difference, but she's just missed the line again.
And again for the skips now, striding their way towards the mat.
It's a huge end for Stuart here, because he can. It's quite easy to overplay this 3 or 4 times and go through the hole and get nothing. I think he's got to try and just consolidate the position here before he goes chasing for the jack. He's turned his back on that.
At the moment there's a degree of separation between the blue and the red bowls, and Stuart will want to try and disrupt that. He's not one away. Still certainly looks like there's 2 sitting.
Actually. Must be close.
It's a nice line.
Must be close. Oh, he's got the best of that. Goodness.
round of applause from Margaret McMillan on the opposite side as well, because
He went up with 4 against, and he might now be lying 4 or more. And Sticky at that line just fails to come in. How many twists and turns is this game going to have?
there's a few. Is there 5 sitting there potentially?
Well, it looks like that, but again, camera angles can be a little bit deceiving. But you would expect this to be reasonably close.
Change of ploy, change of angle.
Doesn't want this back. He doesn't want it back. Waits up.
You feel 6 might be the nail in the coffin.
Doesn't want to go wide on that side. Better.
That looks a good one.
Better. Drew it, I think. Yeah. If he hasn't drawn it, he's certainly kept himself in the game.
That's an excellent bowl from Ian McMillan after what was an excellent bowl from Stuart Brown, in terms of getting into that cluster of red balls that were congregated towards the right hand side of the camera position as we look on. This was the one that we seen. Fortunate knock off the red, and then that resting position. You can see both leads there applauding that play.
You can see what we talked about at the start there. If he hadn't got that flick, he was probably going through a hole and getting nothing, Change the shape. So, choice. He's either got just the draw down that forehand side. If he grabs a jack in the way past, he'll make a couple, or I wonder if he'll choose to run the ball off.
Let's see.
Ball!
He's close.
Get the
He's
ball!
close. Oh, he's played it. What a hole. He might just have bagged himself half a dozen or 7.
Just here from the spectators round about, there was a massive roar as well from one of his club members at Croftfoot, and a pump of the fist there as well. He's happy with that one, and this is the play there. Just knocking an excellent approach from Ian McMillan just mere minutes before. Changes it from potentially conceding 1 to perhaps gaining 7. An intriguing encounter between these two sides.
So we're not clear how that's finished up, but from what we looked at, it looked like a count of 7.
Now we'll soon find out. The scoreboard's not changed at the either end yet. Certainly looks on our scoreboards that we've got the tally of 7 there. So this could be realistically the final end of any competition that we've got. 9 separates the two sides, so we're needing a couple of big ones from Shettleston if we're to end up with a grandstand finish. But that bowl from Stuart Brown, first appearance in the national finals, was incredible. From in 9 for Croftfoot, there's been a steady tally of big points. So 3, a 3, a 2, 2 4s, and then when they conceded 5. And they've replied by putting 7 on the board. You do feel now the writing's on the wall for Shettleston after control in the early stages of this game. There's been a couple of clutch moments from this Croffoot side.
They've just scored heavier, haven't they? I mean, you know, if you look at the end count, you know, they've won 8 ends, Shettleston's won 7, so there's not a lot in terms of, you know, who's won what ends, but the heavy scoring has undoubtedly come from Crofton.
Trailed until end 12. It's not that long ago since Croffoot took the lead, and
this is a struggle now, I think, for Shettleston to turn this around. Facing 2 down, realistically needs a count of 4 or 5 probably to give himself a shout going into the last.
and it's certainly not a head that's looking like it's going to yield that sort of value at the moment.
Certainly not at the minute.
Stuart Brown, last time at this end in this tie, certainly. He is the favourite skip at the moment to be continuing his journey in this championships. Unless there is a magic wand to be woven by Ian McMillan. Just not finding the gap that time. You almost find yourself as well looking at where the Red Bulls are positioned to see where they're going to be getting the scores from, and at the moment you're almost neglecting the fact that Croffoot are lying in a very good position.
It's about game management really from here for Croffoot. Probably, to be fair, it was game management at 18-11, right? They dropped to 5, but look, they're not in any danger here, I don't think, to lose a multiple count that's going to cause them any pain. They would prefer to end it here, of course. They wouldn't want to be going down the last and lose a freak 7 as happened.
It's a nice nudge forward. So it certainly does look like Croffoot are sitting with 2 going on 3.
Yeah, look, I think if Ian had any hope of extending the game here, he might have been flying through that at pace to try and change the shape of the front and try and burn the end, but it's almost like he's resigned to their fate now.
Spaniel on the back has seen enough. Back to the action as we watch on and see where Stuart Brown is going to pop this one.
Not sure that's what he played, but actually it's gone to a good home. There we are. There's the handshake.
Game done. The final ball launched down the rink. One turned away, so it will finish. On that count, looking at the action there, 16-26. One conceded from Shettleston. So their journey in this championship comes to an end. And it will be Croffoot who march on into the next round. And the last that we heard, it was probably going to be against Thurso. They were in the ascendancy in the rink that was next door to this one. You get an opportunity to look back at some of the action, and that was perhaps the turning moment in this tie. That was the one in end 15 that gave Croftfoot a tally of 7, which without that, you feel we would have been heading down a 17th end. But with a final 1 on the board, it means Croftfoot do march on. Teresa Gallagher led very, very well here at the National Centre for Bowls in Scotland, here in Ayr, just on the coast. You see the bay just in the top of that picture, and certainly a well attended event here in Ayr. But the team of Croftfoot did tremendously well to control and come back into that game, because what we forget is the fact that they were down for so long.
Yeah, I think they kept their head up. They did what they had to do, and got themselves over the line. So yeah, they'll be disappointed with the drop of 5 on the 15th end, but it pales into insignificance now in terms of where we are. So yeah, we move on to the next game.
So it's Croftfoot who march on, and then at 1:15, join us back here, because we'll be bringing you coverage of West End Stranraer versus Westerton in the youth pairs first round. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you back here soon from Ayr.